Hello and welcome. I'm Suzanne and this is Living Your Design, a mini-series on the basics of reading your human design chart. Now, in this mini-series, I'm not going to talk about what the pieces of your chart mean as much as the mechanics of your chart. Now, there are a ton of resources online and even in some of my previous podcast episodes talking about your type and your profile. What I want to talk about are the things that aren't really touched on a lot, and that's the structure of your bodygraph chart. All the shapes and lines and numbers and how they all fit together. Now, in this first episode, I want to talk a little bit about what human design is, what it's not, and how you can actually use it in your everyday life. Then, starting in the next episode, we'll jump into those mechanics of your chart. So what is human design? So you may or may not have your human design chart. You probably do if you're listening to this podcast. Maybe you've even purchased a report to explain the basics, or you might have even had a professional reading done already. But there's so much that still seems confusing. I get it. With all the terminology, it can be pretty confusing, especially if different practitioners use different terms to say the same thing. And every time you uncover one piece, more questions come up, or another piece comes to light. So let's get a few things straight right off the bat. Human design is not a set of facts or a life plan laid out for you. Okay? Human design does not tell you who to be, what career to pursue, or who to marry. Okay, human design is an experiment. I like to think of it as a playground for your life. Your human design chart is a blueprint or a map, and a map shows you possibilities. A map shows you different ways of getting from point A to point B, with some routes being clearer and others being more tedious, though all of the routes might get you to where you want to go. Okay? Human design shows the possibilities of you. There are some paths of least resistance, as well as where you might encounter roadblocks. And you can choose whichever paths you want. There might be a valid reason that you choose a path with roadblocks. And human design allows you to make that conscious choice. Now remember, living in your design is an experiment. There is no single right way to make decisions. Your authority will play with the rest of your design, your energy type, your profile, your gates and channels, to form your own unique way of doing things. You and your neighbor may both be 5-1 splenic projectors, but the defined and undefined centers and gates in your chart, as well as your life experiences, will flavor how you live your design. Your life, you're going to live it in different ways. So your human design experiments and experiences will be different. Case in point, my identical twin sons have identical charts, down to the very last gate and even their variables. Yet they are living distinctly different lives with different challenges, different experiences, and different thought processes. They may have the same map. Heck, they even have the same DNA, but they will use it to explore different paths to different destinations in their lives. Now, exploring your chart is not a day trip. It's not even an extended vacation. It's a lifelong journey for as long as you choose to embark on it. You can ride the train for a while, learning about a certain part of your design, and then jump off and enjoy being in that particular place for a bit. Then jump back on and learn about a new piece later on. It's up to you. It is you, so it will always be there to be explored at your pace and on your terms. So how can you use your human design knowledge? Well, obviously, for your own personal development, understanding how you operate best in the world is the foundation for everything else that you do in life. For your relationships, understanding how you and your family members operate differently can open up new understandings for each other and new ways of communicating. In business, I've worked with business coaches using human design in my own messaging and content and how I present what I do. For your children, I wish I knew about human design when I was raising my children. Even simple things like understanding their energy types is helpful in encouraging their learning and communication styles. So if you have your chart and you're looking for a way to organize your thoughts and notes as you explore your design, I created a downloadable printable PDF human design journal to help you out. Now, I originally created this journal for my own journey, and over the years I've updated it to include what I found was needed for both beginners and seasoned explorers. Now, you can find the journal on my website with other reports. It's called the Living My Design Journal, and I've put a link to that in the show notes if you're interested. This mini-series is not just an introduction to your human design chart, but a quick guide to starting your journey and how to use that journal. So I invite you to join me in the next segment where I'll talk about your centers. Those are the 9 shapes that make up the main part of your bodygraph chart. So stay tuned.